have a book. Hi, welcome to my channel or welcome back. I need to repair my face. Also, I think I'm either depressed or sick or something. So I did film earlier, like in the wee hours of the morning. I was recording things in general earlier this morning before I had officially put on my mask, and then now it is on, and I think I'm going to just repair it and then spray some of this on a bit. I'm gonna spray some of this. Let's hi, hello, how are you doing? Number one, I know. What are you watching? What are you listening to? What are you reading? What are you consuming? Let me know! Motherfucker, open up the bed! Open up the bed! In the comment section. Create a fucking wall! What are you guys listening to?
What are you doing?
Let me know! While I fix my mask. Look at this glorious palette. These are my favorite colors in the entire universe. And if you said, Emily, mayhaps I know, perhaps, maybe, like what your favorite colors are, I would be like black, white, gray, and red. These are my favorite colors in the entire universe. But every once in a while, I do like a celestial pattern. I just got a dress recently, and it's got the celestial pattern on it. It's very nice. I enjoy it. Mostly I like looking up at the stars at night, so anything that reminds me of those deep pools of thought, I like being pulled towards. I'm gonna try to not be so crazy. I'm gonna try to calm myself down because I took some allergy medication earlier. It's like the 24-hour non-drowsy stuff, and it always gets me so hyped up. I feel like a cat with the zoomies. I really do, and I don't like that. I don't like when I take something and it makes me feel something. I don't like that. First of all, don't do drugs. I don't like that. I don't like that. I like looking at something and experiencing something outside of myself that makes me feel a way internally, but I don't like physically, taking things that made me feel strange. So anyways, I'm going to try my hardest in my hardest of heart to calm down while I fix my face, okay? Earlier I made a video, like in the wee hours of the morning or whatever, and it was, I haven't edited it yet. I haven't even looked back at what I said. But I said some things in general, and I'll put it out eventually. But so if you notice that I'm wearing the same outfit in 2 videos, that's why. I was getting ready for the day, and then now I am making reparations to my mask. And that's fine. That's fine. But yeah, hi. How are you guys doing? What are you guys doing? What are you really up to? Genuinely, what are you up to? What the fuck are you up to? I'm listening to, I don't know if I said it already earlier, but I'll say it again. Jefferson Airplane, Frank Sinatra, and Twin Tribes, as well as Fate by Boy Harsher, and there's another song I've been playing on repeat. It's just, it depends. It depends, like, what songs I'm into, like, the avenues within me is the things I ingest, right? Oh, I'm sorry. I got this at the dollar store. It's a nice shades, right? Nice shades. The lighting's gonna be fucked up throughout this whole vlog. I'm so sorry. And honestly, I don't give a fuck. Listen here, Mr. Lighting. Mr. Lighting. I don't give a fuck. I feel creative, but I also feel kind of sick. And it could just be a seasonal depression. Of course, it could always be seasonal depression. Sometimes it happens. The seasons here in South Texas, I think I've said before, are extremely varied. And so we have endless summer, which is absolute annihilation. Endless summers, and then we have, like, literally seemingly endless summers. Hurricane season, hit or miss, right? And then we have spring, and then it's like mosquitoes, bugs. So we have Bugtopia, and then we have endless summers, also Attack of the Killer Mosquitoes, and then we'll have false fall, false autumn, or false fall, and then true autumn, and then oh my god, is it winter? And then, oh, holy shit, it's fucking, everything's frozen over and it's concrete jungle icicle apocalypse. And then it goes back to like Bugtopia and stuff like that. Super fun. Love that. Love that. What is that from the Batman, the movie? Love that Joker. You know, like just absolutely love it. Live, laugh, love. Love that Joker. Smilex, you know what I'm talking about? I love that movie. There's something about Tim Burton's Batman that just, it was beautiful, dark, different, you know. I like Michael Keaton. I think he's pretty cool. Whatever. I liked him and the other guys. And also around that time, Tim Burton was really big, you know. Another thing that we grasped onto was Pee-wee's Playhouse, you know. That was another really big thing growing up. And so there's like this all strange oddness of, you know, I guess as a kid going through different things, there's a certain type of Hispanic trauma that is unique to the cultural experience. And yet it's not, because I will talk to other people and they're like, yeah, I was traumatized and it was like this, but there's a certain, maybe perhaps it could be the value system, maybe it's the Catholicism, maybe it's, what is it exactly within the Hispanic culture that makes us so fucking guilty and full of rage and having to drink our fucking woes away and dance the night away and listen to music and then sometimes get a little fucking violent. And you know, I don't know what it is. It could be Catholic guilt. I don't know. I'm not Catholic, but you know, I have family and relatives who are Catholic, and I'm noticing an aroma. There's something on them. I could smell it. I could smell it in their exhalation. I could smell it on their breath. It's like a something, and it's familiar and it's unfamiliar and it's kind of scary. And it could be guilt. You know, there's also things within the Catholicism, such as, you know, you have to have a, you know, birth control. And there's all these things in order to feel like you are a good person. God loves you. You know what I mean? And Catholics, I found, make the best atheists and Luciferians. A lot of the people who I talk to who are Luciferians or theological Satanists, people who deify Satan and actually view him as a god that they can interact with and whatnot. What's up, guys? Hi. I see you guys out there. You know, ragtag bastards. What's up? I have friends who are Satanists and Luciferians, and then I also have friends who are a part of the OTO, which is like a section of like a little thing Aleister Crowley did. I got a lot of strange friends. I do, and I value them, and I value listening to their stories and their values, and I value their values. But yeah, no, it's fun. It's a lot of fun talking to people, learning things, just discovering like, what the fuck do you think? Who the fuck are you? Who are you? Who are you? It's fun to me. I like doing it. I like asking questions and whatnot. I am genuinely fucking curious. So I ask questions. Sometimes I ask too many questions. You know, anyways. I think that maybe it's just that we're trying to find something outside of us to kind of make sense of the jarbled up commotion going on inside of us. Something that'll just feel right and make us go, okay, yeah, that's it. Because for our creative processes, you have to kind of see something outside of yourself. And sometimes it's easier to just fall into a realm that's already structured, such as like a cinematic or comic universe, and then within those bounds of that comic universe, then you can feel like you could start piecing together your own psyche and your own trauma, right? And then you can go from there and be like, okay, well, here's how I feel. I do identify with that person. You can't start making sense of things unless you kind of dive into the chaos and go, what's out here? What is this stuff? You know, I've never met a baby come out of the womb and been like, I feel like this, and I know I feel like this, you know? I say. I've never met a baby like that. And if I do, I'd probably shake his hand and give him a cigar and a little hat and be like, hello, honey, hello, my baby, hello, my ragtime gal. But, until that moment comes, something happens within me that I get so insecure about being misunderstood that I have to go onto a whole deep dive of what the fuck I'm talking about, just in case you don't know what I'm talking about, because the consequences of becoming misunderstood are wide, and they vary, and they are scary. So, yeah, there's that. And I guarantee that I could explain one subject to you for an hour, and then you would still find something confusing about what I said. And then I will feel like absolute dog shit and go back into my hermit's shell within the cosmos, if I feel rejection, and sit there contemplating in my solitude. Am I an idiot? Is something I said stupid? Yeah, sure, why not? And why not? I think everything is stupid. I need to learn how to take breaks from talking because I get so excited. I need to learn how to just shut the fuck up. Yeah, right. I'm so sorry. First of all, let me apologize because I know that some people are like, wow, they come to me from all avenues of the internet and they're like, oh, who is this person? And then I am a person, and then they're like, oh my fucking god, block. I'm just kidding. Oh my god, block. I don't care, it's fine. Oops. Anyways, I'm just kind of getting ready for a night out on the town. I think what I'm going to start off doing is I'm going to go egg a cop car, and then I'm going to put a bunch of Benadryl in a carrot and put it on a stick, and then I don't know, start swinging it violently around. No, I'm not. I'm just kidding. I'm not going to do that. Egg a copper. I'm going to start some shit. I'm bored. No, I'm kidding. I'm not bored. I'm sick. Let me start this over. What I'm going to do tonight is I'm preparing my body to go clean my house. Why not? And why not clean your house looking like a complete babe? Why the fuck not? Well, who's stopping you? Yourself. So, go on, get to it. Sometimes it's nice having time alone. I gotta go check on Sven and Taco. I have 2 ducks outside. And I gotta see what they're talking about. They're quacking a lot. And I do need to go to the feed store. They have feed right now, but I need to go get another supply of feed for them. Oh my gosh. Oh, whenever I get back into my regular cycle of doing things, I'm like, oh god, this is so boring. I want to go do something adventurous. I want to get lost in Houston or something. And whatever. But anyways, it doesn't. You're probably like, why do you keep smacking your face? Because I can. I think earlier, perhaps not. No. Earlier today, I was speaking about going to New Orleans, which I love New Orleans. And here we go, guys. Buckle up, here comes another one, okay? I'm going to be speaking about astrology, and I get excited about astrology, so how it comes out is how it comes out, okay? So, I am an astrologer, whatever. And I like Vedic astrology. I like all different avenues of astrology. There's so many different avenues of astrology. It doesn't matter. Pick one, throw your fucking dart at the board, babe, and start the board. Throw your dart at the board, babe, and just start doing research. That's the best thing I can tell you. If you're interested in astrology, the best fucking thing I can tell you is take a dart, close your eyes, throw it at the board, and if you hit somebody, start running, motherfucker. You better have some legs on your ass, okay? But yeah, no, for real though, it's fun, it's interesting to me, and I like seeing things. I love data, and analyzing data and seeing where, you know, things are correct and where things can be improved and whatnot. So I find astrology to be extremely interesting for me because I do have a shitty chart. I was gifted with the constellations of absolute what the fuck? You know, I don't have a beneficial chart, and the beneficial aspects in my chart are far and few in between. I have a lot of strange placements, a lot of nightmares, okay? Constantly happening within my chart and developing, and it's a dangerous place. My astrological chart is one that, you know, it's kind of, I have a love for things that are unloved. I do. I have a love for things that are unloved. I have a need to protect the misunderstood, the broken, the beaten, and the damned. No. But no, I do. I have a very very large amount of empathy within my body for things that are unloved and misunderstood. I just do. And so I always try to help vocalize or protect things that are misunderstood and unloved. Because it sucks, dude. The misunderstanding and the unloving shit, it's just not my favorite thing to sit there and look at, being misunderstood or being rejected because of that stupid misunderstanding. And then you have to go back to like the eightfold path of love with Buddha and just be like, everything is and isn't, and it doesn't matter, it's fine. But then there's sometimes I don't want to always be with the Buddha. Sometimes I just want to be with Kali and just be like a divine headhunter, and I can't do that. But so I have to hunt the heads of the things inside of me that I no longer wish to grow, right? I love astrology. Let's back up. So I really do enjoy astrology. I find it fascinating, and I love talking to astrologers. Any good astrologer has a shitty chart. How the fuck did you get into astrology? I guarantee. So sorry. Troy Landry from Swamp People, who also owns Duffy in Louisiana, he says, I guarantee. And I love Swamp People. I live in the swamp, and I love watching them during gator season collect all the alligators. It's fun to me. I like that. I like hunting. So I find alligators to be absolutely fascinating and beautiful. And I also like taxidermy. I like leather. I have an alligator head in my house. So anyways, that's where I keep saying guarantee because I keep thinking about Louisiana and New Orleans, and I keep thinking about Troy Landry saying guarantee, you know. Anyways, any good astrologer is going to have a shitty chart. I'm sorry. I don't know what to fucking tell you. If you're into the occults, if you're into astrology, metaphysical studies of any kind or nature, or alchemical studies, or just into devouring information, you're going to have a fucked up birth chart. You are. And it's going to cause you to do a lot of self-reflection, a lot of fucking internalization of what is external. And also, how the fuck do I turn this light on inside of me to project it outwards? How does this mechanism within me work? How can I do that? Because I see other people lighting up the world. I want to light up the world with my stuff and project it out onto something and then start carving what I see within me out. You know what I'm saying? So any good astrologer has a shitty astrological chart. Any good astrologer is going to be honest with you and be like, listen, I have a very fucked up moon placement aspecting Pluto. I constantly feel this, like I have, like my ears are on a grave somewhere, and I can hear the things beneath the ground squirming and moving. I can hear them. I feel them. It is something so dark and deep and penetrating. It is a divine rumbling of something that is dangerous and uncategorizable and unrecognizable, and yet when it's near, you can just feel it. It is a feeling. Pluto is in Hades is such an amazing study to go into, to understand that underworldly kind of thing. And when it touches the moon, the bella luna, sweet little moon, your sign, your house, and the aspects all create how internally, how you are, and how you can light that moonlight and project it, you know. But it's a dance. It wanes, it waxes, it goes, it comes back, and you have to go through a cycle. And as somebody who has a uterus, following the moon and aligning myself with certain lunar cycles, is extraordinarily important for my personal feminine development, accepting my femininity, understanding loss as well as regrowth, and understanding those cycles of Hades and Pluto. There's a deep empathy I have for things that are misunderstood, things that are lost, things that get lost within all of these things, that get bound up and wound up in time and space. I can understand it. I've been there. I've been tangled up. Let me help you out of that trap. Let me remove that trap from your heel. And you could slowly lick your wounds and then be off. Bitch, I threw this motherfucker. Anyways, I'm gonna shut up. Any good astrologer has a fucked up astrological chart, period. And I find a lot of, so for actors, let's get into that. For actors, there is, they will actually play out. Astrology needs expression. It does. At least the way I see it, it does. To me personally, I'm not saying this is the all around the board absolute truth one way. I don't believe that at all. I think that's horseshit. I think that there's infinite ways, infinite numbers of ways of being. So it doesn't matter what people say. Anyways, there's infinite ways of being. Okay, there really is. And there's infinite crossroads and infinite paths you could go down. But my dogs are going to start doing that thing where they put their mouths on each other and they're like, ah! Dog make-out sesh or whatever. I had to kick them out of my room. I'm sorry. I just had to. And now they're going to tic-tac by my door and wait for me to open it so they could come back here and start making out on my bed. No. Absolutely not. Anyways, I'm so sorry. I'm kind of getting, I am myself waxing and waning with my own energy levels today. I think I'm gonna try to hunt down a nice little pumpkin patch near us and take my kids, because the church near us that usually does it, number one, they're kind of snooty. And so I don't really appreciate going to that church, even though I can play really nice with others. I dress like this and I go to the church and all the old ladies are just like, and I'm like, God, fuck off. And then if you say that out loud at a church, God, Jesus Christ, shut the fuck up. Anyways, so and then there's some drama happening at a separate church. I live in the Bible Belt. Okay, I live in the Bible Belt. There's nothing for people like me to do here. And I have to go to church events, even though I don't go to church. And God, it frustrates me. I'm just like, I remember the days when I used to like sit there and hang out with people who are in the OTO, and they'd come like twice a year in order to keep their chapter alive and well at the shop, and they'd have to do their little rituals, you know what I mean? I had to go, number one, get my brush, and number two, I found some glitter. Even though I embarrass myself, I know it's important for me to just keep existing, but goddamn, it is embarrassing to be alive sometimes. This is my brush, and then this is my glitter. So I'm gonna go ahead and fix my hair, and then also continually talking about things. And good. I think earlier I was saying I had to stop recording, and I had to go back and be like, what the fuck am I talking about? What am I talking about? It's just a feminine thing to be this way, apparently, according to all the funny posts on Instagram that my algorithm keeps sending me. It's not, oh God, this is all fucked up. Let's see how bad it is. Let's see how bad it can, oh God, in every one of my videos, I have a fucking random hair. Because I tease my hair in a weird way. So I always have a random hair that's like this taxidermy animals. Beanie. Cheek! You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, let's put glitter everywhere. I was supposed to get a statue of the goddess Isis today, but of course it is stuck. Where? In Humble, Texas. Ha 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 ha! Isis is trapped within Humble. And so, wow, interesting. I think it's interesting. Life is so fun. But yeah. Okay, so anyways, back to astrology. Any good astrologer has a really, really shitty chart. I'm sorry, it's true. And other people with shitty charts, I find I'm like, hey, pal, buddy, how do you feel about this placement? First of all, I recognize you. Wow, it's just so nice. When I talk to my friend, she also has kind of what we've termed the coin trash charts, right? Termed the coined the term. Just get your shit together. I'm gonna just continue talking. So anyways, I think that with astrology, the best thing you can do is start learning. And they're just stories. Everything's just stories. Everything is and everything is not. So it doesn't matter what the stories are. What matters is how you take them and what you take out of them. You know what I'm saying? And what resonates to you. What's your truth? What is your tiny little divine light, you know? So with astrology, and some people just, they don't believe it. They're like, oh, you mean oh, you know, like the things you read in the newspaper or whatever. People don't read things in newspapers anymore. Shut up, girl. Anyways, there's stories within stories, and you are going to find some kind of universal truth that will help you unravel yourself and accept yourself just on a deeper level. So for me personally, I like looking at how different placements evoke, like an evocation of different gods within our lives, and also that surround us and encase us. There's different houses and different asteroids, planets, fixed points, stars that are in certain houses, and each of them is a deeper level of kind of divine truth. And it's beautiful, it's nice, it's fun to me. It's like hunting down something. I'm kind of a little bit of a seeker, I guess. I like looking out. I like evoking these things within me. And sorry, my nose itches. Full face of clown white and your nose is itching. Mistake, absolute mistake. But yeah, I think that okay, for instance, I have my north node, or my kind of obsession in this life, or what the goal I'm constantly seeking out in this life, is in a very specific kind of difficult situation. It's kind of in a difficult situation, which is okay, because when you learn about you have certain house placements and blah 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 aspects that are all kind of eventually and essentially affecting your life, you could sit there and accept the things that are kind of hard to accept. You know what I'm saying? There's stuff that happens in life that's just tough. It's difficult to deal with. But the biggest thing is integration and understanding it. I have a bunch of alchemical texts in my house, and different pictures and whatnot, like alchemical art in my house. I think is it Splendor de Soleil, or the splendor of the sun, or whatever. And there's so many things you could take away from alchemical text. Number one, maybe perhaps it was just painters trying to share formulations, or something deeper, or something less, or something more. Maybe it's just nonsense, and maybe it is sense. It just depends on how you want to take it, right? How your mixer is mixing today, you know what I mean? And it's fun to just look at and investigate, and whatever. There's just so much that you can do with the occult. There's so much stuff that can happen within these hidden realms, and it's so peculiar and bizarre to see it mainstream. Occult stuff is becoming mainstream, and there's a lot of confusion, and there's a lot of masquerading and lying that happens to get notoriety, and it's fine, it's whatever, because that's you. Maybe you need to lie maybe that's your experience. Maybe you need to be a fucking liar. Maybe that's something that you need to develop within yourself in order to understand, how do you hide things? How do you lie? How is a lie made? Maybe that's something you need. So I'm not going to sit here and judge somebody too harshly. At first, when I was younger, I was extremely aggravated when people would say something that was just so inaccurate. It was infuriating to see somebody lie. It was so maddening. And I felt like that child inside of me being like, no, 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 you're wrong. I felt that little girl inside of me having to feel like I had to defend myself against somebody lying. And now I'm at the point where it's like, you can lie all you want, and I will just lie here, and you just pick a spot to stick that sword in, and we'll make it a whole fucking act, a whole magician's act on how I'm gonna take that sword out. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Open up the bed. No, but yes, sorry. Anyways, so there's a very deep, beautiful thing that happens, I guess, whenever you accept things and you kind of submit that kind of feeling of having to go or move. There's this divinity within sitting beneath the oak tree in the grove and just being like, it is not, it never was, it always will be. Who fucking really cares? Not I. So, whatever. It's just a very strange thing that happens in life, and it's whatever. But radical acceptance, number one, is super duper fun and kind of healing and whatnot. Number two, it's annoying whenever people talk shit about things that they don't know about. We all do it. I've done it before. I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm some kind of holy saint, because I'm not. I was a very annoying child. And I had a mouth, and I loved arguing with people. I loved it. Like, okay, you motherfucker. And anyways, so I didn't mind too much. Like I said before, oh my god, that is a lot of glitter. Whatever, fuck it, let's just go. Let's glittify our eyes. That way, in case, the people in the ISS need to see somebody, they could see me. Oh my god. It's a lot of glitter. Who cares? Whatever. It's fun. Okay. Kind of fun. So, anyways, sorry. My diamond mirror. How quickly my brain works. I said diamond, and then I thought diamond back, and I thought near dark. That was very quick. And then I thought diamonds are forever. I thought too many things very quickly. That's how my brain works. It's very fast. It pulls things up very fast. I don't know why. It just is. Oklahoma vampires. Okies. Oklahoma vampires. Okies. Oh my god, but I love the aesthetic of like country vampires, like Western vampires. I liked True Blood too. It was okay, whatever. It was okay. But there's something about like older stuff. I don't know. There's something about it. I like it a lot. I don't know. There's something very Western about me and very vampiric, and that's just always been the case. It's either one or the other, or I'm too busy climbing rocks to care about the safety of myself. I'm kind of struggling. I'm sorry. I went from so many topics, from like the occult being mainstream and it being annoying for people to find find recognition in lying. But check this out. Okay, I know. I'm sorry. I'm all over the place right now. Follow me, if you will, for just a moment's time. You have to be quick though. Okay, I'm gonna teach you how to be quick on your feet. So with the lying of things that are in the occult is now mainstream, right? Let's go back to that. So with the things that are happening, like with the occult being so mainstream, it's interesting because, listen, if you lie or you tell an inaccurate version of the truth, something within the universe stirs, and it needs to be rectified in a way. It's a very strange thing I've noticed, like pattern I've noticed throughout things. So, like if somebody says a false truth and then a lot of people will recognize it, as a truth of it, oh, whatever, and they all start parroting each other and echoing each other and in unison being like, this is true, this is true. It doesn't make it true. It doesn't make it true. You know, an outright lie is an outright lie. And then there are truths, and there's version of the truth, and there's how you feel, and there's how you think, and there's a lot of different tiny things that go into play with truth telling. It is an art form. Storytelling is also an art form. And like I said, there's a difference between an outright lie and then also the truth, you know, or your version of many different avenues towards the truth, right? So whenever somebody does outwardly lie about something, and you know about it, something amazing that happens is the editing of information, and also the providing accurate information, or more accurate versions of the truth. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's really interesting. And there are this YouTube channel I listen to because I like the way they speak on things and whatnot. I feel kind of a resonance to the way their school of thought and the way that their consciousness flows. I feel like, okay, cool, excellent, this is awesome. And also they're so fucking funny. So fucking funny. I'm into the occult. And you have to be into the occult. Number one, you gotta be kind of very Uranian, very eccentric, very, you know, jazz hands of doom, right? You kind of have to be a little wild. You have to be a little this and that and whatnot, and be able to submit yourself to some outlandish, not society's way of thinking of things. There's older versions of the truth that have been buried beneath concrete, and you have to learn how to bust down the concrete to get to the floors beneath the tunnels under the churches. You have to learn how to do that in some way. There are older, much ancient versions of the truth that have little saplings that grow off of it, and they scatter on the wind, and they grow over here and they grow over there, but you know, essentially in unity, they are all from the same ancient oak and are same, you know, whatever, it's the truth, right? And then there's a little of it right everywhere. So in order to be into the occult, you gotta be a little fucking wacko. You really do. You can't just be like, I'm so smart and I know everything. Because number one, with stuff in the occult, you don't know shit. Nobody knows anything. Let's go try to figure it out. You know, let's see what this person said 400 years ago. Let's see what that person said 600 years ago. Let's see what that said 2,000 years ago. Let's see what everything says. All of these chittering, all of this choir and symphony of birds in the morning. What do you fucking think? You know, what the fuck do you think? And submit yourself to that stream of consciousness and be like, well, what the fuck even is thought? You know, get a little crazy with it. What is thought? You know, get fun and crazy. And you know, it's just so strange. There's like a body, and then there's also the abstraction of like the mind and the heart and everything in unity. All of these things to make you a person. And so when you get into like, you know, the occult or occult avenues, occult, you know, thought and schools and whatnot, you know, mystery schools and blah blah blah. There's a lot of different layers to everything that is labeled and termed occult. Each god has multifacets. Each goddess has multifacets, and yet everything is one thing and everything is nothing. And you have to submit yourself to different ways of thinking. Like, okay, well, they found, let's say for instance, Inanna or Ishtar, right, the divine Venus, and like Mesopotamian, you know, back then, okay, Inanna, Ishtar, Venus, essentially, way a long time ago. And so she was defined a sex goddess. Everybody does it. So is everybody a sex god? You can't just go and read a woman's personal diary and then be like, oh, she was a slut. I guarantee if you read anybody's personal diary, they have desires and feelings and things that are not meant for not suitable for table talk. So it's extremely, to me personally, when people are like, oh yeah, she was a fucking slutty whore goddess, I'm like, number one, shut the fuck up. Number two, just because a woman has anatomically correct parts doesn't make her a fucking slut, even if she does use them for reproductive purposes or for any other purposes. Just because a woman exists doesn't make her a whore. And it says more about the things people say about these ancient gods. The things that they will say says more about them than it does about the goddess herself and her little sticky fumblings or her private affairs that were made extraordinarily public. Imagine your diary gets blasted all over the internet. People are going to say a lot of strange things about you for possibly quite some time. So it's just humiliating. There's private things. Some things are private, some things are occult, some things are hidden. And it's so strange that these stupid fucking archaeologists, these stupid fucking losers will see a woman. I'm so sorry, it's making me mad. You guys are not stupid. I'm in a heinous rage of anger and frustration because you'll see a female or a feminine body naked and go, hot dog, ooh mama, wow, look at that slut, whore, skank, bitch, I want to use her, abuse her, make her mine, possess her. Wrong. We're all born in the nude. We're all born without clothes. You see a man's body, you ever look at art of men and go, wow, what a slut, what a whore, what a skank, I want to use him, abuse him, possess him. I'm sure some people do that out there. I'm sure that you guys are out there doing things, but it's just the things I hear, the chittering from the archaeologists, these learned men from university finding this ancient goddess or a statue of her naked, or somebody drew her naked because they read her ancient diaries about her lover and what she was doing with her lovers in the privacy of her home, or the privacy of her private life, where it was made public. It wasn't like she was going around doing that to everyone. There has been a very systematic desecration of the divine feminine, and I won't have it. Because, like I said, everybody does things. A lot of men do things. A lot of men have these secret little societies in order to learn their divine mysteries, or whatever really happens over there, So it's so aggravating to see. It's so aggravating to see people just immediately, when there's a goddess, be like, sex, love, fucking whore, maiden, mother, crone. No. It's endlessly up, it's endlessly down, it's sideways, up and down, everything. They are everything. And number one, that the only fucking reason you're here is because you pass between the legs of a woman. Number one, sit down. Number two, that's the only reason we're here, is because of them. They're not your toys. They're not whores. And if so, then every single woman's a whore. Everybody's a whore then, because anybody who exists has existed from the the friction of two individuals creating something out of nothing, pulling it out of thin air. Ta-ta, a baby, It's extraordinarily frustrating and genuinely stupid for me to constantly see these learned men, these scholarly men from universities all across the world being like, we found a naked statue of a woman. She must have been some kind of idol they prayed to get a good cheap fuck out of. Who are you? Go back to school. Wipe your nose. You've got some boogers coming out. You child. Are you serious? You see a naked woman, you just lose it. Is it the Christian ideology? What exactly? Is it the Catholicism? What exactly in you said, aha, the divinity of a naked woman? And then you went from oh, she must your values projected onto the divine goddess of ancient times. She is naked. She is doing things privately with her lover. So then you say whore. That says about you more than it says about her. She was doing things in the privacy of her house. Okay. And whatever, and there's like all of these things people have for a while. They like to stand on the foundation of, well, she had, they had these temples and everybody was fucking whores and she's the divine whore and all these things. That is so incredibly rude and incredibly confining for such a brilliant deity. It's extraordinarily rude and disgusting. Okay, she wasn't just one thing or the other, and that's strange. I mean, maybe perhaps let's look at it this way. I'm sorry, I'm going on an Inanna Ishtar rant. She's gone through a lot. She's a bad bitch and she's gone through a lot. How about you give her a break? I mean, she doesn't want to fuck you. Leave her be. She is everything, anything, and nothing. The great divine goddess. It's everything, right? Yes, of course, she could be a fucking brat, of course, but she could also be intelligent and wise and nurturing and loving and love her lovers. So she's full. So she has a whole laundry list of things she is. She is not just the whore or a whore. And in my humble opinion, she never was a whore. She was not a whore. A naked woman is not a fucking whore. Anyways, so like I was saying, whatever, she did some things, right? Maybe she did, maybe she didn't. I don't know. Maybe they're stories. Maybe she never existed. Maybe she wasn't real. Maybe this is all fictitious. Who gives a fuck? They're stories, but within the stories is the importance where we could find ourselves. How would we react to that? What do we say about these people? It tells us about ourselves, and then we start writing our own stories on the, we start hearing ourselves writing our own stories on the cave walls of our being, of our temple, the body, whatever, however you want to label it, tag it, bag it, I don't really care. But let's say you read somebody's diary out loud. Let's say somebody was just raw, real, and true, okay? And they were just honest, open, and intimate about their personal private life. And then you said, you know what? I feel that. I agree with that. I do that too. Let's say that her opening up and being intimate, does that make her a whore? Is every therapist a slut? Do you know what I mean? Is that like a whore kind of thing that happens there? Is that a slutty action to go seek help? Is it super slutty to love somebody? It's a very confusing. Western civilization is extremely confusing for anybody who owns a uterus or considers themselves a woman or is, interacts with divine femininity. It's extraordinarily confusing. The hoops that Western society and the patriarchy, essentially a lot of naked men getting butt naked and wrestling, tells us what to do. So it's funny, and then they are exhilarated, they are exalted. They are the gods of our generation, the men who get stuff done. Well, you came from a woman. You came out of those divine legs. The one you call a whore, the thing you use, the doll. That creates you, people like you, everything, anything and nothing. The power between the legs, okay? It's very, very interesting and very aggravating to really look at our systems in place and what is happening with a shift within like Western culture and how it goes over these ancient goddesses, these ancient gods, and then it erects these new systems that are extremely phallic. The patriarchy, extremely masculine, but in a way that is consuming. It's a negative aspect of Saturn and Uranus. It is just the continuation of something that wants to be stopped, something that needs to be stopped, and yet it cannot understand itself. It wants to be stopped. It wants to keep acting until the appropriate reaction happens. It wants to stop. It wants to end. And so it keeps doing things, reenacting its trauma until it can find a suitable person to send it into that heroic journey, into the underworld, into darkness, to discover itself. I think like all children, when they're babies, they cry because there's a need that needs to be met. So with Western civilization, it is a baby. It's a baby. It's a child, and it has a need that needs to be met. And so it cries. It cries very loud, and it's aggressive, and it smashes things because it doesn't understand value. It doesn't understand what is and what isn't, and what is good and what is bad, because it's a child with the sword and it's swinging it because it needs food, or it needs something sustainable and suitable for its flesh, and it can't find the appropriate thing to satiate the desire, and it's confused. So it, the biggest baby sits on top of the mountain and cries down to the little babies, and it's just the Lord of the Flies. But yeah, I get super mad whenever people are like, oh yeah, so with Freya, the goddess Freya, they're like, she's the goddess of, and all of the books across the board, every fucking book, they're like, oh yeah, Freya, we want to fuck her. Freya, she's the goddess of love and sex, right? Like Odin wasn't out there fucking people, like Zeus. Yo, I'm about to lose my shit. Zeus. Jupiter. Do we call him a whore or slut? We do in joking. A lot of pagans are like, that fucking bitch. A lot of people who are pagan or pagan orientated understand the myths of Jupiter and Zeus and whatnot, and how that affects and flows and goes, right? They're like, what a fucking whore. What a horn dog, But a lot of people are like, oh, well, he's respectable and he's this and that. And it falls upon the women's shoulders to just be like, people have their little, like, their megaphone, and they're like, slut. Or they're like, whore. Oh, I'm sorry. You're a goddess? Okay, well, we have divine whore next. Oh, you have a feminine anatomy between your legs? You probably like using it. So, divine slut next. But like with men, there's a whole difference, and maybe perhaps it's just with Western society and culture. But when you get back to the past, when you go back there and you look at these ancient stories under the waters of water, you look at different cultures, things. You can look at different African and West African stories and find a whole beautiful array of colors and flavors and vibrancy in their stories. And then you could go to the Slavic gods and look at them and see how they are. You can look at all these gods and myths, ancient things buried beneath the surface in the sands of time and lost, and find your own meaning. Sit there and look at the flower of life and contemplate its meaning and why was it here. Look at the goddess Isis and see how can she provide you with something within yourself. What does everyone say about her? What are all the lies they say about her? What are all the truths that are hidden in the lies? And then it is an initiation that happens. The lie. Can you ask the appropriate question to unlock the door? Open sesame. SpongeBob and Patrick. Can you do that? Do you know how to do that? Can you sit with yourself in isolation and ask those questions and silently walk down those steps? Can you do that? It's very difficult. It's very hard, especially if you're a yapper like me. I make a lot of noise, stomp around a lot, alert the press on accident. But it's kind of funny. I think that archaeologists should just dig. Motherfucker, you want to dig a hole? Dig a hole. Go ahead. And also, British people, stop stealing everything. Somebody said the only reason why the pyramids are still in Egypt is because they didn't have a fucking dolly big enough to haul them back to the British Museum. I believe it. But yeah, I think it's stupid because I do like the goddess Freya. I love her so much, and I find her more as a death goddess. I don't really find her as a goddess of sex and sexuality. And every time I see somebody write a book and it says that, immediately I get turned off. I get totally fucking she has so much more. and they I don't know why they always with women. They fucking put that as the forefront. They're like, slap that sticker on there. That's what they're for. They're to be used as dolls and puppets, and they're, you know, to do them and play with them. No, bitch. No, motherfucker. They created all of society with a thing between their legs. So why are you sitting here telling us that if somebody is a mammal and they have feminine organs or female reproductive parts, that they can only play 3 roles? It's extraordinarily unfair and stupid and dangerous to turn the entire reproductive process and progress of humans into something that is a villain. Like within the Christian church, how they immediately made mammalian reproduction woman's fault, and she's a slut, and it's not okay. I don't like it. I don't fall into these things very easily, and if I do fall into it, motherfucker, I'm coming out swinging. I hate that. I hate splitting. I listen to these very long lectures on different, you know, archaeological finds and what these guys think, what they assume about the past. And it's fine to an extent. You know, it's important to use your discernment whenever you're doing research and whatnot, and piecing together what people have said, and then who's just hopping on that train and continuing that thought, who's continuing that thing. And it's not progressive, it's just array. They said it once in 1943 or something, and it's just continuing. There's no variations. You're not allowed to deviate from the original. Blah. You know, you just have to keep going blah, 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 blah. We found something new. Connect it back to the first thing. Remember, children, connect it back to what we told you. Don't think outside the bounds. Don't do that. No, she's a whore. Now, if we look back in time, we'll see that someone said it, and we're just continuing the HOE of the thought process. No, it's not fair. It's not fair. I'm a little child. It's not fair. I don't like the way you're playing this game. But I don't think it's fair at all. I think that there's an aggravation I have deep within myself, that I could see these great ancient goddesses and be like, wow, they're so amazing and immaculate, and like there's so much other stuff they're doing. They have all these other aspects of their story, like becoming stripped down of everything and going into the underworld and getting tricked and having to fucking fight her way out or figure the fuck out how to get the fuck out of there, you know. And there's revenge and vengeance and coming up against things that are not right or immoral, and doing the right thing and rectifying a wrong. And you know, and love is so beautiful. It doesn't have to be something icky, nasty, gross, and you don't have to label because somebody loves somebody and they're doing things in the privacy of their own whatnot. You don't have to be like, wow, slut, and then shame it, right? Shame it into this entire, now it's an underworld thing, that this goddess, this great, beautiful, divine creature, this divine feminine aspect of this time and space realm, that is important. It's important. She's important. You don't have to sit there and demonize her. You know, it's just sad. It's sad. And they're like, oh yeah, well she kills babies, and she you know, she does things to guys when they're sleeping. I don't know, it's never happened to me, but it kind of cool it does. You know, like, you don't have to do that to this great ancient deity. She is what she is. And it's just weird. It's like people taking bubble gum out of their mouth and throwing it on a goddess statue. And eventually it's covered in bubble gum, and they're like, look, there's a pink wad of something. And it's gross and it's nasty and it's, ugh, you know, it's not fair. I'm sorry. Anyways, I think I'm gonna start going. And yeah, guys, I'm so upset about that. It's hard. It's hard out here for a girl to be a girl. I'm just a girl. No, but it's hard to be feminine and curvy, and when you find these ancient goddesses, you're like, I can feel something. I can feel a connection to their stories, and then immediately like, well, she was a whore, so what does that say about you? Not much, bud. What does that say about you? So you guys are telling me that you worship her by doing these weird, strange, nefarious things with people, and you claim it's consensual, but it's not. And you're saying you're offering that to her. Why would you do that? It's like offering me a used tampon. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? That's weird. I don't like. Wow, thanks. Can you imagine getting something that like somebody read your diary pages, right, in the privacy, and you said, wow, I really like the way that guys, wow, that was about to get dark. I was about to say something very dark. Let's just say I really like the way that guy's haircut was, let's just say that. And then you're like, oh, he's got a really nice haircut. And then somebody blasts that on the internet, and then all of a sudden wigs, let's say this, that's a nicer way to say it. I was about to say something darker, but let's just say wigs keep showing up on your doorstep of that haircut you said that you liked. You were like, oh my god, he's like so kind of dreamy. Like in all my dreams, whenever he's there, he's got that haircut and he's wearing that suit or whatever, and like he's got that cute little like, imagine that's in your private diary, and then you blast it, or you don't blast it, somebody puts it on the internet, and everybody reads that and they're like, oh, so she likes guys with that haircut that wear this kind of suit. And then what if you just on your doorstep one day at your house, a bunch of wigs and suits show up, and you're like, oh my god, what the fuck? Oh my god, I wrote that down one time fucking 5,000 years ago, and you guys, that's what you think of me as? But it's an initiation process that happens. It's not how do you say, the lie. It takes somebody with a little bit of light in their eyes. It takes somebody with a little bit of glitter in the iris to really look at the lie and go, you guys have been saying this shit for 5,000 years? You've been telling the same story for 5,000 years? And it wasn't even true? Wow. Because we don't know. We don't really know. You have to ask the right questions. Like I said, you have to ask the right questions, and the door will open. And then you can go and be like, look around in the underworld like an idiot. I look like an idiot. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna go. All right, bye.